Well, hello there, my friends. Good to see all of your beautiful smiling faces again this fine Friday. Friday morning, Friday afternoon, Friday evening, depending on where you're tuning in from around the world. We'll take a couple seconds to make sure that all of the technology is working okay here. You can hear me. Maybe give me a thumbs up, leave me a quick comment, say, "Yes, Adam, I hear you." All sounds good. And then we're gonna dive in because we got a lot of slides to cover. Some serious things to share today. Some strategies, some tactics, some stories. We'll tug on some emotions. I'm gonna reveal some things that you may or may not have heard, depending on if you've been here for a while or if you've seen these presentations. But regardless, a lot to do. R83, hey there. Elias, hello from Lebanon. Hello, Elias. Good to see you here. Which part of Lebanon? I used to spend a decent amount of time in Beirut, around sort of the whole Mediterranean area there. But regardless, can you hear me? All coming through loud and clear? We're doing okay? Like I said, we'll give it a couple minutes just for everybody to tune in, and then we'll proceed with the show. Our topic for today is right here: how to start and scale your agency to 10K, 20K, even 50K a month. And we're going to do this all without any cold calls. We're not going to waste any time. We're not going to waste any money on Facebook ads. We're not going to do any of all those other things. You have the option. You can, but we don't need to. There's going to be some other strategies we're going to talk about and essentially go over the steps and what is all possible when we do things right here. All right. So without further ado, oh, holy moly, we've got Elizabeth now from Egypt, Sharm el Sheikh. Hey, you know what? I used to spend a lot of time in Sharm as well. More so in El Gouna on the Red Sea, but a little bit in Sharm. So watched Content for a while, been helpful. Oh, amazing. Well, I'm glad you could make it here for this presentation. And I think we're ready to go here. Let's dive in. So the topic of today's presentation is, like I said, how to start and scale your agency to 10K, 20K, 50K a month. Yes, this is possible. Fun, quick story before we dive in. I remember when I first got started with my marketing agency, I was first thinking about doing all the wrong things, as we're going to cover. And I remember hearing about these presentations and these gurus and all of that, saying how you could make $1 million a year with your agency, 500 grand, 600 grand, all of these things. And at the time, I thought it was complete and utter BS, nonsense. I was like, nobody makes that kind of money. Certainly not from some weird internet business that I didn't even fully understand. And that stopped me for a very long time. It kept me stuck and it kept me capped because I just simply refused to believe that something like that was even possible. Certainly for someone like me who is coming from such like a normal background. But I assure you it is real. And once you accept that and you start to see you can start to see sort of like what these people at this level are doing that separates them. And then we can start to simply replicate and model the behaviors that get us there. So here's the deal. If you failed with an agency in the past, it's not your fault. There's just so much information out there about marketing and agencies and SMMA and AI and SaaS and all of this craziness. There's videos that you can watch. There's podcasts and audiobooks. There's courses that you can take for free or $20 or whatever it is. And all of this leads to this massive sense of overwhelm. You're kind of stuck there thinking, where do I even start? Well, don't worry. That's why we're putting on this presentation today. We're going to hopefully clear all of that up for you. Also, maybe you're worried about the agency model in general, especially with so many new shiny objects and cool looking tools and technologies coming on the scene, AI and ChatGPTs and SaaS models and all of that. Is the agency model oversaturated? Is everybody already doing it? Is there no space left for me? Can I actually succeed with an agency today in 2024? And what about 2025 and 2026? After all, you don't want to marry yourself to a business model that's going to be irrelevant in the next 6 to 12 months. But I'm here to tell you that none of that is true. It is not oversaturated. There's probably never been a better time in history to do it. And in fact, the more shiny objects and the more flashy, cool technologies that come out, the better things get for people like you and me. Because we can stick to the foundational important elements, the things that actually make you money and grow your business. Everybody else can go chase all of those shiny objects. We can pick and choose the tools and technologies we want to adopt and incorporate, and life gets better. But I'm going to explain everything in the next, we'll say 45 to 60 minutes. I'm going to leave some time for Q&A at the end as well. So here's the deal. If you are like me, tell me if this sounds familiar. I know that you want to build a successful agency. I know that you're after trying to make 10K, 20K, even 50K, we should say plus per month. You're after time, location, and financial freedom. For me, this was the single biggest driver that led me into this world. I come from a small town. I didn't want to move to a big city. I didn't want to continue working the corporate 9-to-5 grind, so to say. I didn't want to be under someone else's control. I wanted to be able to do what I want when I want. If the sun was out, I wanted to go to the beach. If there was snow falling in the mountains, I wanted to go snowboarding. If a cool trip came up, I wanted to be able to take it. And not only did I want to never have to ask permission to do that, I wanted to have the financial means that would enable me to go buy a first-class ticket to anywhere in the world and go spend time with family and friends and maybe be able to bring them along with me. Also, start living life the way that you want to live it, not constrained by someone else's rules, judgments, criteria, all of the things that we're kind of culturally led to believe are the keys to a happy life, which sadly are the complete opposite. This is something that I continue to study is what society and what culture has pushed us towards, like what the meaning of happiness is. But the fact is, if you do what everyone else does, you're going to get what everyone else gets. And most people, sadly, and I wish this wasn't the case, but there's an epidemic of anxiety and depression and a lack of meaning and value. So we got to fix all that. And there is a better way. Also, prove to your friends and your family that you can do it. And maybe, most importantly of all, prove to yourself that you can do it. Essentially, using an agency as a tool of self-development, self-discovery, really fulfilling your potential and being all that you can, earning all that you can, serving all that you can, giving all that you can. So in this webinar, I'm going to show you how. So I made this presentation for two types of people. Number one, if you don't have an agency, but you want to start one, well, I'm going to show you how to start what we call an automated acquisition agency and sign your first client in 30 days or less. Now, if you already have an agency, you're going to learn how to quickly scale it to 10K, 20K, or even 50K plus while doing less work than you've been doing. And again, when I first started, I made a lot of mistakes. I worked way too hard. I focused on all of the wrong things, which led me to be exhausted and burned out and stressed and fatigued. And then finally, like you're going to discover here in this presentation, I had a couple of very smart people show me a better path, and it changed everything for me. And that's my hopes for you here today. So my goal for this presentation is to get you to believe, get you to fully understand and embrace the fact that starting an automated acquisition agency is the key to making 10 to 50K per month and unlocking that ultimate freedom that you've been wanting. And I'm going to show you my proprietary frameworks, the systems, and the processes we use inside of our Agency Accelerator program that'll make it simple for you to achieve all of that, and honestly, so much more. Now, of course, we need the mandatory stuff. Why listen to me? Who's this random guy? I mean, if you've subscribed and followed me for any part of the past decade, then you already know. But for everyone new here, well, welcome. It's great to have you. Real quick, why would you want to listen to me? Well, over the past 10 plus years, I've started a number of different wildly successful and very profitable marketing agencies, SMMA agencies and creative agencies, specifically lead gen agencies, with many going into multiple 7-figure per year run rates. Also have worked with clients, created marketing campaigns for Meta, Google, Snapchat, Logitech, Salesforce, Amazon, Adobe, like some of the biggest names in the business. Now, the beauty is I'm going to show you not only how you could potentially land some of these massive whale clients, we could call them, but also how to get smaller local businesses, which this is going to sound counterintuitive, but they're actually going to be better clients. They're going to pay more for less work, and you're going to be able to get them better results so they stick around for a very long time. These are just a fraction of the testimonials that we've got from clients inside of the program and students with some of the results that they've been able to achieve. Again, I don't show any of this to you to impress you, but rather to impress upon you that, yes, I actually know what I'm doing, so you can trust the information that I'm about to share with you. But it wasn't always this way. This is where it all began. This is me a long time ago, well over 10 years ago, sitting there as the pilot of a business jet in my previous job. Now, on the outside, this looked like the absolute dream job. Was paid well, got to travel the world, we stayed in great resorts, but I had no control over my life. They say go, you go. They say fly, you fly. And if you don't, they will fire you and find someone else. It doesn't matter if it was Christmas, my birthday, my honeymoon. If they needed a pilot, I was gone, which meant I had absolutely no freedom. So again, on the outside, it looked like I was getting to all these cool places. I was completely under someone else's control, doing whatever they wanted to do. Barely got to see my family because I worked for months at a time away. Then I would come home for some time off, and occasionally they would just call me right back. There was training. There was, again, working holidays. There was no opportunity for growth. Essentially, once I reached the stage of being a captain on these business jets, there was nowhere higher to go. I wasn't going to make any more money. I wasn't going to be able to grow. I wasn't going to be able to expand my skills or develop in any new way. And the worst part of all, I knew that I wasn't living up to my true potential. In fact, I used to tell myself that by sitting in the front of the plane, there was no way that I was ever going to be able to sit in the back of the plane as a passenger of one of these business jets. I was totally capped, totally out of control, and didn't know what to do. So I quit. In what we can only describe as an existential crisis, having a bit of a nervous breakdown, called my chief pilot and was like, I got to get out of here. I got to stop. And so I literally quit absolutely everything and went home, no idea what to do, no idea where to start, but I knew that there were these huge opportunities online. I'd seen it, I'd heard about it, and so I was determined to try to crack this nut. But in that path, tried everything. I did web design, I tried doing SEO, I tried doing all kinds of different graphic design, I tried video editing, I tried content creation, I tried all of these different paths. Anything that could possibly make me money and not have to essentially force me to go back into this corporate world that I did not want to go back to. But of all the things I tried, I noticed that some people were making millions of dollars with this business model that I wasn't yet familiar with called an agency. Now, essentially an agency, if you're not familiar, is providing services to businesses online. This is really what we're talking about when we're talking about a marketing agency and SMMA agency, all of the different terms that kind of go around it. So I decided to start my very own agency, and I was doing everything that you could possibly imagine an agency should do or would do, especially if you didn't have a mentor or guidance or any clear idea of how to make this work. So I did SMMA, right? Social media marketing agency stuff. I did branding campaigns. I made content for clients. I did web design. I was a professional errand boy. I remember going to drop off flyers for people and coordinate with the newspaper, writing radio ads, like just the most random, nonsensical stuff that didn't make me any money, didn't help the clients, but I would do literally anything because, again, it was out of this point of desperation that I was like, I do not want to go back to the corporate world. I do not want to go back to a job where I have absolutely no control. So I was willing to try all of these things. Now, I was making some money. Some of these things were starting to work, but I had this massive problem. First of all, getting new clients was incredibly hard. And of course, to make things worse, they would leave after the first month. This is because they didn't understand the value that I was providing. I wasn't doing a good job of giving them what they actually wanted, and I was doing an even worse job of communicating to them in a way that was like, yes, Adam and his agency are actually valuable. We need to keep him. And so they would just quit. So the cycle looked like this. I'd get a client, I'd do the work that I said I was going to do, then they would leave. And I would do this again and again and again. Get a client, do the work, they would leave. Get a client, do the work, they would leave. And on it would go. This led to 14-hour days. I was working 7 days a week, and it's embarrassing to admit, but I did this for far, far too long. Way too long, like years essentially of working endlessly for essentially less than I was making in my corporate job. Now, the bright side is I had control, but I knew there was a better way. Also, all along that way, I was plagued with these doubts. What if this doesn't work? What if I'm not cut out for this? What if I have to go and get that 9-to-5 job again? What if I have to leave my family? What if I have to sacrifice the control and the freedom I have in my life? It was an absolute nightmare. I'm not going to pretend to sugarcoat it anyway. I was in a very, very bad state. Now, lucky for me, I had a buddy named Nick who also happened to own an agency, and he saw me struggling. He saw the 7-hour days, the 7-day weeks, the 14-hour days, the basically working all of the time. And he's like, man, you need some help. So I told him, hey, look, dude, running this agency, starting it, doing all this was probably a bad idea. I don't think I'm cut out for it. I don't think I can make it work. I can't get clients. I can't get results. None of this is working. I'm thinking about quitting. I don't know. Maybe I'll go and like get a farming job or do some work on the oil rigs or start tree cutting or anything else that I could think of. Since I was literally already completely tapped out, working 14 hours a day, I was like, look, you're probably in the same boat, right? Like this is just the model that we chose. Maybe we're just gluttons for punishment and we like suffering. But that's when he said, Adam, I'm only working a few hours a day and my agency is doing 6 figures a month. as in over $100,000 every single month, which works out to $1.2 million a year, working just a few hours a day. And if someone else had told me this, I'd be like, that's not true. That is not a possible thing. You, my friend, are lying. But this was a buddy. This is a guy that I knew and I trusted. I was like, this is insane. You're telling me you're making this much money working this little? I was completely shocked. How are you doing this? Why have we not talked about this before? Well, here's what he told me. If you want to make money with your agency, there is only one thing that matters: customer acquisition. That is it. You want to make money, you need to master customer acquisition. In other words, you need to start an acquisition agency. If you get your clients new customers, they're going to pay you a lot, no matter how little effort it takes you. And this is one of the key takeaway points. This is a writer downer for this presentation. Your clients don't care about how you do what you do. They care about the result that you get. Also, not all results are created equal. We're going to talk about this in a second. I'm kind of like, it's a bit of a spoiler alert here. I get too excited. So your clients don't care if you're getting them likes and comments and more brand awareness and things that don't directly equate to sales. They care about sales. And sales means new customers. So your entire focus needs to be on delivering them new customers. And it doesn't matter how you do it. Doesn't matter what process or tools or system. If that's the result, they will pay you a lot of money and they will not leave because they simply cannot afford to lose that. And obviously, he was right. This was kind of one of those no-brainers. All that mattered was getting my agency clients new paying customers for their business. That was the focus. I needed to start an acquisition agency. And this is where the automated part, I needed to find a way to automate it so I could spend less time working and more time doing what I wanted. Because I'd already spent the last forever, basically, treating my agency like a job. I was a prisoner in a jail of my own creation. I was working all the time. I had no free time. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered if I was making $1 million a year at that time because I wouldn't have had any time to spend it. So I needed to find a way to systemize and streamline this. And this is where this idea sort of came into play. We add the automation, we add the acquisition part, and we get this automated acquisition agency, which is, in my honest but biased but incredibly accurate opinion, the pinnacle, the gold star, the holy grail of agency models today. So started researching every tactic, strategy, tool I could find in order to get new customers for my clients. What were the things that I could actually do that were going to get results so my clients would be willing to hire me, to stay forever, to pay more and more because of the value I was providing? And this meant I had to stop doing all of these feel-good services, all of the things that I call vanity metrics because they make you look really good, but they don't lead to any money. So anything that was designed around helping a client get more likes or loves or comments or shares, all of that nonsense had to go. I also stopped doing anything that didn't directly result in more money for my clients. For example, web design. I was doing a lot of websites at the time. What I found is that I wasn't able to directly relate the web design that I was doing to a sale for my client, which meant it was very easy for them to put it off or to hire a cheaper service. Same thing with social posting, especially organic content posting. Because I wasn't tracking things properly at the time, I didn't have a good system for it. I was just making stuff for brand awareness in the hopes that it would equate to sales. They weren't really sure, therefore they would leave. Same thing goes with all other kinds of content marketing. Instead, I focused only on services that would get my clients more customers and make them more money. The results? Totally insane. Started getting my clients tons of new customers. You can imagine what happens. Well, they were thrilled. They started paying me way more money because I was actually delivering results that they cared about. And they stopped leaving me after just the first month. And instead, they stuck around for months, and then many months, and then years, and then many years. And the best part is, I doubled my income in the first 30 days alone while working half the time that I normally would. And this trend just continued month after month after month, continuing to double the income that I was making, to cut the time that I was doing, all because of the systems and strategies that I'd discovered. And I started showing all of my friends how to start and scale automated acquisition agencies of their very own, which leads me to people like KJ, who went from making $3,000 a month to $61,000 per month in just a few months. This shows you what's possible with the right structure, with the right system, with the right guidance, with the right strategies in place. And also, if you've never made $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, $61,000 a month, I assure you, this is life-changing money. There's nothing about your life that is the same after making that amount of income. Everything improves. All of your money stresses disappear. All of your fights with your significant other about money, which is the main cause of stress in relationships, that disappears. You feel like you're essentially unstoppable because you now have this incredible power to generate income and to look after those that you love and care about. Powerful stuff. Now, I'm going to go through the rest of the presentation, but if you're short on time, if you just want to take action right away, I'm going to try to make sure, I don't think I have it there yet, but there should be a button below this video, or you can just visit join.agencyaccelerator.io. There'll be an application form. You can book a time to learn more about the program, as well as take a quick view at the video that's on there. But with that said, here's what we're going to cover for the rest of the presentation. Secret number one, how anyone could start an automated acquisition agency and why this is the best business model for 2024. Secret number two, how to get 5 to 10 high-paying clients every month without having to do any cold calling. Again, you're free to do cold calling. Absolutely. In fact, in the program, we even teach it and have a lesson on it because it is still effective, but I appreciate a lot of people don't want to do it, which is why we do not have to. There are other methods. Secret number three, how to get profitable results for your clients quickly so they stick around forever, and how to do this without any prior marketing experience, because we all start from zero. As the saying goes, every master was once a disaster, which means we got to get going to get growing. So let's go. How anyone can start an acquisition agency and why this is the best business model. Let me tell you about a buddy of mine named Hans. He was doing all of the things, which I could ask you, maybe this sounds familiar. It certainly sounds familiar to me because it was my story. Very similar. He was doing web design. He was doing content and graphic design. He was doing all of the things. And I asked him, how many clients do you have? He said, 1. I call this actually the 2-client trap. If you're stuck at 1, 2, 3 clients and you're just unable to break past this, we simply cannot keep doing the same things that we've been doing. After all, the definition of insanity, do the things you've always done and expect a different result. So something needed to change. So he's doing all these things. He's got 1 client. So I asked him, what's the only thing you should be worried about then? If you only have 1 client, what is the only thing that you need to worry about? Oh, getting more clients. So I showed him what we call the GTKT framework. This is something that I live and die by inside of the program. Happy to share it with you here today. When he walked through that, when he started to adopt this mindset and this strategy, he got 2 clients the next week. He got 3 clients the week after that. And he made $10K in the next 22 days. Again, going from 1 client to now making $10,000 a month is a life-changing moment because you have this new, renewed sense of confidence, this faith in yourself that you're actually able to go out there and provide for yourself completely on your own terms. And it gives you a level of control over your life and over your business that most people only ever dream of. So what's the GTKT framework look like? Well, GT stands for get them. KT stands for keep them. This is the entire basis and foundation for growing and scaling your agency. If you're stuck at 0 to 3 clients, you need to spend 90% of your time getting them. This is client acquisition. 0 to 3 clients, 90% of your time needs to be spent on going out there and getting more clients. Because let's be honest, if you don't have any clients, you don't have an agency. You just have a really expensive and weird hobby of trying to pretend that we're doing marketing, but we're not actually doing it for any people. Now, 4 to 10 clients, 70% of your time on client acquisition, 30% on service fulfillment, delivering them results, making sure they're looked after. 11 to 20 clients, 60-40, 21 clients plus, 50-50. Now we can sort of spread it out. Okay, so the GTKT framework. You want to focus on client and customer acquisition. Demonstrating a clear and tangible ROI for your clients allows you to charge more and retain clients longer. Now, there's 2 parts of acquisition that we need to talk about. The first one is delivering services and delivering value and fulfilling things to your clients that enables them to get a tangible return. In other words, we're doing services and activities that actually lead to results for your clients. This is client acquisition, this is customer acquisition for your clients because no customers equals no money. The other part, client acquisition for your agency, you've got to go out there and spend a considerable amount of time right here getting new clients. Because if you don't have clients, you don't have an agency. And if the next part is you're not getting your customers' results, they're not going to stick around for very long. So this is why we have to focus on acquisition. How do you get more clients? How do you get your clients more customers? Next, offer only high profit, low effort services. What these allow you to do is they provide disproportionate high rewards for low effort. In other words, just because we're working hard doesn't mean we're getting good results. We need to focus on the results and then find a way to get them in the most streamlined and efficient way possible. This also allows you to charge premium prices and deliver premium results using simple software and systems, and get better results. It's faster, it's easier, it's way more fun. All right, so let me walk you through the anatomy of what exactly is a high profit, low effort service anyway. Well, one of these focuses only on the most desirable and valuable service you can offer to your clients. It also eliminates the need to offer 20 different services. Again, not all services are created equal. We don't need to do the ones that are getting likes and comments and shares and brand awareness and pretty pictures and designs and things like that. We only need to do the things that actually deliver client results, which is sales. Not likes, not comments, not shares, not any of that silly stuff. Makes your clients more money, therefore makes you more money. The more money you make your clients, the more money you are going to make. Full stop. Doesn't matter if you're charging a percentage of revenue gain, percentage of profit, or just a flat retainer monthly fee. Because if you're getting them good results, they're going to stick around forever. They're going to be willing to pay you more. They're going to refer you to other people. And it allows you to stand out from every other marketing agency out there. Next, a high profit, low effort service solves one problem. Example, client acquisition. For one kind of person, for example, local businesses, obviously we want to niche down more than that, through one specific path. Through social media, through SEO, possibly through ads, through Google Business Profile Optimization. It gets results fast, and it differentiates you from the competition because you're not doing all of the things. You're focused on a very specific outcome for a very specific person, and has high profit margins, which means way more money in your pocket. So let me give you a real tactical example here of a low profit offer. Typically, a lot of people ask for, and they start to think about, hey, I'm going to start offering Facebook ads or Google ads or Instagram ads. Now, this is fine to add later, but it is rarely the first service that I want to approach a client with. And the reason is if they've got a $5,000 a month budget, well, you're going to spend $2,500 perhaps on the advertising itself, which means that money goes to Facebook, it goes to Instagram, it goes to Google, it doesn't go to you. So you profit $2,500. On the other hand, if you use simple software and automations, do things like missed call text back. So if they miss a call, it'll automatically text them back. Google Business Profile SEO, very simple to do. We optimize it by building something called citations, which are simple backlinks, by filling out the profile completely, and by increasing reviews for it. All of that is essentially the simple process of increasing all of that. Local SEO, web chat widgets, call to action forms, all of these other things. They have a $5,000 budget, costs you around $50 in software per client, and you profit $4,950. Whole lot different. Next, we want to use automation and systems in order to do this. We leverage systems and software and automation to get better results faster with less effort. This is an important point because we are not pitching and promoting ourselves as an AI agency or an automation agency. We're pitching ourselves to clients as a marketing agency, a marketing strategist, a digital marketing agency, someone that is very skilled and has expert tools at their disposal to get people results. That said, on the back end, internally, we're using all of the tools available to us because it'd be crazy not to. But it doesn't make sense to lead with that because then we're just looking and sounding like everybody else. Of course, this allows you to start and scale faster, offers consistency, predictability for both your agency and your clients. All good things. And we do this in 3 different processes: client acquisition, client onboarding, and service delivery. We make sure that we're leveraging systems and automation in all 3 of these areas, which makes our life a whole lot easier. When you do this, well, you end up able to get new clients, you're able to sign them up, keep them for longer, and like I said, life just gets a whole lot better. Okay, secret number 2, let's keep the ball rolling. How to get 5 to 10 high-paying clients every month without having to do any cold calling. So here's the deal. After I started my automated acquisition agency, I started getting lots of clients, which is a really good thing. But there was a big problem. I was cold calling 8 hours a day, nonstop, making as many calls as I could, and yes, it was working. I was kind of tapped out. That was when one of my mentors, named Sam Ovens, I realized he was getting crazy results and he wasn't doing any cold calls. So I said, Sam, what are you doing? How are you doing this? Well, he was doing something that I would later name the value audit. Now, at the time, we called it lumpy mail. This is a strategy I learned from Sam over a decade ago. And we were essentially sending everything that we're going to do here, but in actual physical mail, which cost a lot more, which was a lot more time consuming. It worked, but there had to be a better way to do it. So now we've digitized it. So how does this work? First, we find an ideal prospect using Google. Very easy to do. Simply go to Google, type in the niche that you want to focus on. In this example, we'll say landscaping companies. Type in the city that you want to use. In this case, we'll say Phoenix, Arizona. You type that in, you hit enter, and just like that, leads. Leads, my friend. These are verified, valuable leads that you're able to contact. There's their name, there's their website link, there's their phone number right there on the page. Next, you perform a simple marketing audit using one-click software. We use HighLevel for this. All we have to do is then put in that information into HighLevel. It spits out a very fancy, very cool report that shows us exactly what they're doing right and where there are areas for opportunity. Then we record a short 2 to 3 minute Loom video showing the audit. Loom is a free screen recording software that anyone can use and anyone can download. All we do there is we click record, we talk through the report and the findings, and then we email them or we direct message them, and we have a very simple call to action, CTA, which is to book a call with us in order to talk more, to learn more, to go over the reviews, to answer any questions they have, and so on. Now, here's the beauty. I've signed over 1,000 clients with this simple method. I've also taught this method to my students. And when this happens, well, people like Josh get their first paying client from cold email at $1,000 a month. People like Taylor start getting it and getting new clients at $2,200 and $4,000 one-time builds. People like Pete get 4,000 euros and then 1,500 euros a month marketing. Augustine gets clients at 4K a month. Paul Thomas gets them at 2,500 a month. Brandon at 2,500 a month. I mean, this system works and it works incredibly well. And now you never have to go through the pain and awkwardness of cold calling. So yes, we can go here. Let me scroll back up and we can give them a call, or we can go to their website. We can get their email. We can get their contact details. We can put that all into software and we can email them or DM them. And the best part, well, this method is more effective anyways, and you don't have to spend 8 hours a day cold calling. Not to mention, when you follow this strategy of sending out these emails and these DMs and you do it in the right way, it scales linearly. So the more you do, the more you get. Contrast this with something like running paid ads to acquire clients, which over time you will experience diminishing results. So there's only so much that we can do and spend before our cost of acquisition starts to climb. When we're sending emails and we're doing DMs, that's a linear scale. So if we send 100 and get 1 client, if we send 200, we'll get 2. We send 300, we'll get 3. And it works like that, pretty much like clockwork. All right, secret number 3, how to get profitable results for your clients quickly so they stick around forever, and how to do this without any prior marketing experience. Now, when I started using secret number 2, I was getting clients faster and easier than ever before, but I ran into a new problem, right? New levels, new devils. That's what this is about. How am I going to fulfill all of these clients? Because on the surface, it sounds great. I've got more clients and more money coming in than I know what to do with, but now I actually have to go and do the KT part, the keep them. How am I going to get them results? Now, I tried doing all kinds of different Facebook ads and delivering that service. I tried, obviously, on-page SEO. I tried using retargeting, which used to work really, really well, say 5-6 years ago. Now it's less effective, still viable strategy. I tried using all kinds of different funnels and softwares and landing pages and optimizing everything that you could possibly imagine. But it was ridiculously complicated and it took just so much time, and I had to learn absolutely every single thing about all of these different marketing facets, and just like that, started having to work way more again, which completely defeated the purpose of having an automated acquisition agency. Basically, I was drowning, trying to fulfill all my clients. But thankfully, I met another guy named Daniel, and he leaned over, and this is we're at a marketing conference, and I was telling him about all my woes and complaints, and he said, you know, you can hire people to do all that work for you. And I said, tell me more. Well, he showed me how to use white label fulfillment services, and it changed my agency forever. So what exactly is a white label fulfillment service? Well, it's really just a fancy marketing term, marketing jargon, for getting some or even all of your agency services outsourced to other partners or vendors who specialize in a specific service. So the way it works is a client comes in and let's say they give you $5,000. Well, you now give, say, $500 to a white label fulfillment service to do a certain specific thing. Then you take the $4,500 or whatever is left over from that, and that's your profit to sort of oversee and manage and act as the middleman between all of this. Very powerful system, very powerful strategy in order to scale your agency pretty much indefinitely, as large as you want, as quickly as you want. The beauty is my clients started getting customer after customer while I was doing a fraction of the work that I used to do. Of course, with this free time, well, it frees you up to go out there and get even more clients, so you're able to grow your agency and make even more money, even faster. Or you can just use this extra time to do whatever you want. Spend time with your family, you can travel, you can work out, whatever it is that you want to do. So, question, do you think that this model, this strategy could work for you? If you followed secrets 1, 2, and 3, do you think that you could be successful with this agency model? Let me ask you another question. Is it okay if I spend 5 minutes going over a very special offer I created to help you start and scale your own automated acquisition agency? I can't see you nodding. I'm going to assume it's okay. We're going to go through this really quick, just if you're interested, and then we're going to open up the floor to some Q&A time. So at this point, you've got 2 choices. Choice number 1, you can go back to grinding it out with overwhelming marketing, back to being stuck in the struggling to client zone, having tons of desire but no clarity on how to actually make progress. You can say, hey, thanks, Adam. Appreciate it, but I think I want to go back to struggling my way through this. I'm going to figure it all out on my own. And you know what? There's actually nothing wrong with that. I did that for years on my own. Unfortunately, it cost me a lot in lost earnings and sanity and additional income that I could have made and all the freedoms that I wanted to experience so much faster, which is why you also have choice number 2. You can say, I'm sick of struggling and never really knowing what to do. You can decide that it's time to take control. You can say, hey, I want to build this out with you because you've done it for yourself and for countless others, and I know that you can do it for me too. My recommendation here, regardless of which path you take, is to not let this be just one of those, just another moment where you learn something and then walk away and don't let it change your behavior. The easier, faster way is mentorship from someone who has a proven roadmap to follow, constantly on the cutting edge, someone who's actually done it for themselves and many others. So, if you want proven results, I've got something very special for you, and there's obviously no pressure whatsoever for you to take advantage of it, but it is my job, my responsibility, my obligation even, to put it in front of you, and then it's up to you to decide whether you want to take this or not. So, over the next 5 days, my team and I have set aside some time to talk to you and see if we can help. We're going to talk for roughly 45 minutes and map out an action plan for you to go over your goals, how to start an acquisition agency, and use the secrets that we talked about here today, as well as a whole lot more that we didn't have time to cover. If you want to build this out step by step together, and here's the big one, we are positive that we can actually help you get results quickly, we may invite you to become one of the new clients we take on inside the Agency Accelerator program. Honestly, this could be the most profitable 45 minutes you spend on your business this entire year, but here's the deal. You have to want this, like actually want this. After over a decade of doing this, I find that most people want the reward, but not the sacrifice. Now, I can greatly accelerate you, but you must be committed to hitting your targets in your business, or let's not even bother here. Now, also, due to the nature of this, due to the fact that it's going out to hundreds of thousands of people, spaces are very limited and offered on a first come, first served basis. So if you would like to secure your spot to have a conversation with the team, invite you to go to join.agencyaccelerator.io. You'll also find a link, I believe, hopefully I remembered to put it in, directly below this video. And let's leave that up for now. Let's look at some questions. I'd like to open up the floor, so to say. I'm going to move my face down here. There we go. And then we can put questions on the other side. Look at the fanciness going on here. Amaze myself sometimes. All right. Let me see. So, scrolling back up to the top and going through. Again, if you've got any questions that you would like to have answered, please feel free to put them in the chat, and I will try to get to them in the next 20 minutes here. Actually, we're going to do a quick water break. I just realized I get so excited sometimes that I just start going off on these things, then I forget to drink water, and then we get to the end, and I'm just completely hoarse. All right. Oh, R83. My name is Raphael, by the way. Good to see you, Raphael. All right, let's see. The real one. How do you guarantee success in SMMA? I guess there's 2 parts to this question. Number 1 of which is we actually have a guarantee inside the program that if you don't get 10 high-paying clients for your agency, you don't pay a thing. So we have a complete full guarantee around that if you follow the steps and it doesn't work, we don't want your money. So we'll refund absolutely every single penny, just like that. So that's our guarantee, just because we know that this system works. So we want it to be as truly no risk as possible, especially considering how incredibly life-changing this is. Next, how do you guarantee results for your clients? 2 different ways. The first of which is like if you're brand new and you've never done this before, The best way to guarantee results is to do it on a performance basis, or to charge them after the result has been delivered, or to offer a money back guarantee, which is kind of like your own personal insurance policy. The other thing is, if you've been doing it for any length of time, you should know which clients you're able to get the best results for and which strategies work for that. For example, if I take on a new agency client, I'm able to tell immediately, like, yes, this person in this niche with this offer, we will get that result. And I know that because I've done it for thousands of other clients exactly like them. So a lot of that just comes from experience and trial and going through the steps. But when you're first getting started, yeah, there's a number of other ways to package it up. So you can still guarantee a result for them, even if it means like we're going to continue working with you until we get you that result. All right. Gilbert, will you answer questions at one point of this webinar? If this is live, of course, yes. The answer to that question is yes, right now. All right. Exactly. A successful business is the real pill for a good life. Yes, 100%. There's a great quote by Naval Ravikant that says, I can't remember, I just put it in a video as well. But it's essentially around that exact concept of like, if you want control, if you want wealth, if you want true freedom, you need to own a business. And the best way to own a business is to start a business. And then that leads us to, well, what business is best? And in my, again, biased but honest opinion, an accurate opinion, the agency model is probably the best business model for beginners to start because of the low startup costs and the demand in the market, the ability to outsource and to get help with it, like the unlimited profit potential. There's very few businesses that you're able to start and get to like 100K a month in 30 days, which is exactly what we did in the last agency that I started. We went from 0 to 100K a month in less than 30 days with like 0 startup costs, which is mind-blowing. It sounds weird to even say it. I wouldn't, again, like I said, if you told me that a decade ago, I probably wouldn't have believed you that it was possible. But yeah, it really is a crazy world. You actually fly a plane. Yeah, it's funny, right? Like, of all that, life is better now, right? Like you can have the best job in the world, but it's still a job and you still don't have any control. So I wouldn't trade where I'm at right now with where I was for anything. Hey, Latricia, good to see you from the Piney Woods of East Texas. Glad you could make it here. Acquisition 100. You got it. All right. Let's see. Good afternoon. Get them, keep them. You got it, Tyler. That's it. GTKT. Get them, keep them. That's the whole goal. And if you don't have 5, 10, 15, 20 clients yet, you need to spend more than half your day on getting them. That's how we make more money. All right. James, let's go. You know it, buddy. You know it. Okay, let's keep going. You got her. A lot of very nice comments. Let's see if I can find some questions. Tyler says, can you share the email you sent to them? Yes, I think I've got it in a video. I won't be able to find it right now because I've got this presentation loaded up, but it is definitely in this among like a ton of videos. We don't just use one email. We have typically we'll split test like a bunch of different angles when we're sending them to new clients, depending on the niche and the market and the experience and all of that. So there is a system that we use to find the absolute best one. But yeah, I cover this a lot. So you'll be able to find that in any of the other videos here. Oh, you're too kind. Look at all the love. I super appreciate it. All right, let's see. Felix, again, the kind words, guys. I tell you, you're blowing up my ego too much. Let me see if I can find some questions. Tyler, what is the time frame of your guarantee? Yes, for the program, we do it for 6 months. So 6 months you've got to basically come in and get all that, which is more than enough time. In fact, we've had some of our students getting clients within the first 7 days of starting their agencies and of following through the process. So if you follow the steps, yeah, it's more than enough. All right, what are your thoughts on seasonal business? For example, snow season, which means you can only acquire clients for them for a specific part of the year. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied on my own words. Seasonal businesses. I love them and I hate them. I got 2 thoughts. The first of which is it really depends on the entrepreneur's goal and what you want to do. So if your goal is to like just work like a crazy person for 6 months and then take 6 months off and go travel the world, seasonal businesses were made for you. This was it. This is like the defining characteristic of the ideal business model. Doing marketing for this kind of business will allow you to do that exact same thing. The other side is you got to find the alternative or the flip season. So if it's snow in the winter, what is it in the summer? Is it lawn mowing or landscaping, or what are the sort of the corresponding parts? Brooke, oh no, Brooke, you're the best. So kind. Hey, Julian, sorry I'm late. Can I book a call for the program if I don't have an agency already started? Yes, great question. So the program is designed to help you start and scale a successful and wildly profitable agency of your very own. So yes, we can help you with that. You can book a call there. I see you talk a lot about SEO, but are there parts of SEO that can be trackable and prove real hard data for our future clients? I'm an absolute noob in the SEO field. First of all, no worries. We all started as absolute noobs in the SEO field. So yes, what we do with SEO is it's really simple to track. We will track two things. Number one is the website's current ranking on the pages, which we can do with any piece of software. Any SEO software out there tracks rankings, keyword rankings. The second thing is we'll track website visitors. We do this through Google Analytics. Again, any free software that tracks how many people are actually visiting the website, and then we line them up. Hey, your ranking went up 3 spots. Your website traffic went up 40%. This went up 2 spots. Website went up another 20% in traffic. And then ideally, we would also optimize the website to lead to calls or emails or bookings or sales so that we could, again, directly tie those things together. That is exactly what I've done, which is why many of my SEO agency clients stuck around for like years, 7 years, like basically until they sold the business or expand, like crazy stuff. Tyler, what are some of the tools you provide in the program? Yes. So we talk about, actually, I think I've got a video on it somewhere. I should have added it to the bottom of these slides. It would have been a little easier, but let me start at the top. The big thing is we help you identify a truly profitable and successful niche, a 7-figure niche that will allow you to go out there and build a successful agency around, help you refine your offer. So we give you all of the tools around creating a truly irresistible offer. We show you how to structure it, how to present it, how to package it. We help you build a marketing funnel for it, including a mini webinar, mini VSL that all you really have to do is plug and play things in. We give you content. We show you the emails to send. We help you set up the emails, the DMs. We show you the calling scripts. We give you the sales script. We show you the systems, the onboarding, literally everything that you need to succeed is inside the program. There is nothing that you need that is not in there, which is why we have the success rate that we do. Jesse, I heard that you are superhuman. Is that the secret? Oh, Jesse, I love you, man. It's so you know what's funny is that like I started this like just broke, right? Like I left my corporate job and had to come back home with nothing. Like I sold running shoes again, like a minimum wage running shoe store. I remember people coming in that knew me from before and they knew I was like flying jet planes and now they saw me selling running shoes. And the judgment there was like off the charts. It'd be like, dude, what are you doing? And it was hard to explain, to be like, yeah, I left that because I'm pursuing something better. Cause most people don't really understand that, but like, you guys know, like when you want to fulfill your potential and do more. So it was slightly uncomfortable, but then I just built it up like bit by bit. So when I started, I did all the wrong things. I worked long, but not very hard. It just made all the mistakes. So I'd like to think now that I'm like a more enhanced version of myself based on all of the experience and the lessons and all of that. But oh, dude, I was so normal. I'm still so normal. Drive a minivan, take the kids to swimming lessons. Just super normal. Normally wear a plain t-shirt. Put on a collared shirt today because I'm feeling extra fancy for y'all. All right. Hey, good man. Good. Glad you could make it there. All right. Let's see. Gilbert. And finally, oh yes, your 3 questions. You said you had 3 questions and you did. Very accurate. Finally, on one of your videos, I saw one of the highly profitable services was customer re-engagement. But how is this a thing with businesses that don't really have returning customers? All right. So as long as the business isn't like a brand new startup, they probably have some kind of customer list or some kind of lead list or some kind of engagement list, foot traffic. Like they've got access to some resource, some asset database of people who have expressed some kind of interest in the business. Then all we have to do is we have to match up an offer with where they're at in their buying journey. So even if they don't have like returning customers, for example, like if you're like a wedding photographer, ideally well, divorce rates are high. You might be able to do a couple weddings, but regardless, let's assume people stay married forever. It's a perfect world, right? Perfect world. You could send them a re-engagement campaign to offer them wedding vow renewal photos, or you could time it out. How long after people get married do they typically have kids? And you could send out a, hey, here's a family photo opportunity, or a newborn photo coupon, or whatever it is. Like, there's always a way. There's always a way to sort of re-engage people that have already bought before. Elias, I'm in gym niche. I love the gym niche. Do you think offering Insta and FB ads would be more effective, especially in a crowded market? For gyms, I really do like, it's funny because we talked about like high profit services, low profit services, and all the things you can do. I like all of the other things as well, but with gyms, and specifically someone that's targeting like a small local geographic area of like, I don't know, like a 5-mile radius around the gym. Yeah, locally targeted Facebook ads and Instagram ads, you can run for very cheap. So we don't have to spend $2,500 a month on them. We could spend like $20 a day, so $600 a month, and we can target people that fall within that 5-mile range, in the age range that we typically attract new customers, and then just make an offer. Free water bottle, free training, free first week trial, like all of the very standard offers. They're standard because they typically work. So I would do that for sure. And then I'd run different video ads for it. That'd be my main format. Very simple to do. Just literally grab your phone or have your client grab their phone, film the gym, film themselves being like, hey, I'm the owner of this gym, and just this week only, we're offering this free trial. Come on in and check it out. And then you can adjust it based on the seasons. So if it's like summer, you'd be like, hey, get in summer shape. If it's Christmas, you'd be like, hey, it's Christmas. If it's whatever, you say, hey, it's whatever. All right. Latricia, on unpaid medical leave from my teaching job, decided to go ahead and launch my agency. Hey, good for you, Latricia. Is there still an extended trial or high level? I'm just at a limit of what I can do with sweat equity. Yeah, there is. And in fact, if you go to, I don't think I have a link on that page. What is it? It's like AERH. Let me put this in real quick. I wonder if I can like adjust this. Oh, I can. Look at this. AERH.co/high level. That will take you to an extended free trial of the software, so you can get in there and take a look at it. We have an even more extended free trial inside the program, but I'm not like, that's just because of my relationship with High Level, so I'm not allowed to share that outside of the program. But that one will get you 30 free days, and then inside the program we have a link for 60 days. But unfortunately, like I said, I can't share that outside. So moving on. 888 Levette Soto Canalizador 88. Oh, that's a name. Did you get this for impulse, the sales for your own business instead to have an agency, or is it better to be a customer if you're not interested in the agency model? Oh, good question. Okay, so I think, can you do this if you have a business and you're not interested in starting an agency, like just to learn it for yourself? And the answer is yes, but the program is definitely designed to start an agency. So if you've got a business and you want to learn, let me rephrase that. If the business is doing $1 million a year or more, this will be helpful. And the reason is because you'll want to learn the concepts of an agency so that when you hire an agency, or if you decide to run it internally or build your own internal agency, you're going to know what to look for and what's good and what's bad and how people get clients and how to do all that. If the business is like less than $1 million a year, no, just go and learn marketing. Again, my channel is just loaded with like 1,000 videos on marketing. So I would steer you away from the program and more towards the free content. Julian, my pleasure. Yeah, everyone starts with web design. I think they do. I don't know. I think they do. It's just like, it seems like the easiest thing to sort of get into, especially like back in the day. I took HTML and PHP coding courses and all of that because we didn't have the drag and drop functionality we do today. But yeah, amazing. Okay. Let me see. Tyler, do you provide snapshots to plug into Go High Level? Yes. Yeah, 100%. We've got our funnel and our scripts and everything in there. Almost going to 9 to 5 after my web design agency failed. I think you can help me with this. Yeah. I think we can too. I know exactly what you're going through. It's not a fun feeling to be worried about having to go back to a 9 to 5, especially like once you've had that taste of owning your own future and the potential that comes with it, the thought of going back is terrifying. Can't believe a professional pilot downgraded to a regular min-wage job, but it certainly helped me give you the motivation. I'm 100% sure. Yeah, exactly. It was the way that I looked at it was like I had to take one step back to take two steps forward. So it's like when I left flying corporate business jets, which was like the most prestigious job ever. I remember like my in-laws would always introduce me as like, oh, he's the business jet captain who flies all around Europe and that, and everybody would be like, oh, that's amazing. And then they were like, and they're like, yeah, he sells running shoes for like $10 an hour. They didn't say that, but like I didn't get introduced like that anymore. Actually, what's even funnier now is even though now I make, I don't even know, like 10-fold, 20-fold, 100-fold, like I'm just infinitely more amounts of money. It's still like, what exactly does Adam do? And it's like, well, he does marketing stuff and he helps people learn marketing. Like, it's still tough for a lot of people to wrap their heads around. But I think a big question that you got to ask is like, would I rather be rich or famous? And the beauty is that like with the wealth that comes from owning your own business and building all these things up, you can then kind of become, I don't want to call it like, what's the right word? Like mini famous or make a bigger impact with the status that you have. Because again, like when I was flying, I might have had a cool title, but I couldn't help anyone. Like, do you need someone to help fly you somewhere? Nope. Okay, I guess I'm done. Whereas now I can help people grow businesses and I can help them transform their lives. And yeah, it's significantly more fulfilling. So yeah, one step back, 100 steps forward. Eugene, good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Glad you can make it here. Here's a tactical broad question. Tiran Decor, best Instagram marketing idea. So like, again, I'm going to give you the terrible answer, then the better answer. Like, it's so dependent on who's your niche. What are your services? Who are you going after? As far as from an agency perspective, best Instagram marketing idea is cold Instagram messages. If you want to get clients with Instagram, step one is following, engaging with, liking their content, and then sending messages to business owners on Instagram. That is by far the most valuable. Second most valuable, Instagram Reels. They're still powerful. Stories, we're starting to play around with a little bit more. They seem to be getting a bit of a boost in the algorithm. But yes. Yeah, I know. Oh, morbid topics. That's the thing about marketing is you gotta be factually accurate. In fact, it's interesting about marketing because like our job is essentially like we make a lot of stereotypes to help us make good decisions. So yeah, we look at things as they are many times. Tyler, do you provide access or references for the white label services? Yes, 100%. Yeah, we have a vetted agency, white label agency that we use inside of the program that we help people get set up with. So they're able to do all that. Oh, let's see. I've got a few more minutes. Let's see if I can finish another question or two, and then we are going to wrap it up. McX, Adam, what would you offer as an agency to real estate developers and or real estate agencies? So my preference would probably be real estate agencies more than developers. And the reason is when we're dealing with real estate developers, we're dealing with a smaller number of them, which means that it's going to be a completely different strategy. It'll be a different strategy to acquire them, and it'll be a different strategy to get them results because they're not looking at the same kind of customer base that other typical local service-based businesses like plumbers, roofers, landscapers, chiropractors, dentists, funeral homes, etc. are looking at. So real estate agencies, again, my preference would be to either target like real estate teams or realtors themselves. So let's assume we're doing that, real estate teams or realtors themselves. This is where setting up like a really quality direct call to action for them will work. SEO is not my favorite for real estate for most people just because it's so competitive. So we do a lot of like, this is where we'd start to dip into content and social ads a little bit more. Again, if you remember the gym example of targeting the local area within like 5 miles for real estate, that's really effective too. I think every realtor needs to become a content creator, but fortunately, very simple to do. Just like take out your phone and shoot a couple quick Instagram stories, some quickle Instagram stories, and then post them, and like that'll do phenomenal. And then you could even run a few ads behind them. And if you just show your face again and again, that's fantastic. And then as an agency, I'd provide the service of like running those ads for them. So like dialing them in, targeting them. I'd also set up some of the software tools we talked about, like missed call text back, chat widgets, anything else to facilitate the traffic that they're already getting and convert that into more leads. All right. Let's see if I can find one more that I think will help. This is a good one and we'll wrap it up. Elias, do you think LinkedIn networking would be more effective to outreach more leads and get customers for your agency? So the answer is more effective than what? Because when we're doing outreach, we've got a number of different tools we can pull from. The most popular, and the most popular for the best reasons, Instagram DMs, Facebook DMs, LinkedIn messaging, cold email. Cold email is actually the top, and then cold call below that. Those, like, by far, those are the main ones that we use, like, over everything else. Cold email, the most, by far. Still my favorite. Cold call, if you want to. Then it's a question of Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, whichever is going to have the highest hit rate for your niche and for your market. Typically, when we walk people through the system, we have a way to test all three of them. So we find out very quickly which one of these is that magic bullet, is that like golden key to unlock the most amount of clients and leads and all of that for your agency. And then we double down there and we essentially put all of our resources in that direction. All right. The time has come. Let's wrap it here. So final call to action. Again, if you're interested in having this system built out, you want to learn a little more, you want to book a call with the team, highly encourage you to go to join.agencyaccelerator.io. And we can just have a chat. Like I said, we have no incentive to push you into something that is not the right fit, because if it doesn't work for you and you don't get results, we don't get paid. We don't make any money at all. So we will lose money, which is why we need to ensure there's a good fit. But again, there's no way to really know that until we have a conversation, which is why this is always the first step. Also, thank you for being here. Thank you for the amazing questions. Some really good stuff, and for all the love. Such kind words. I'm really glad that all of the content over all these years has really made such a positive impact. I mean, it really does feel good to know that you're out there and you're listening to it and you're taking action and you're getting results, because my life has been transformed on account of marketing, and that's all I really want for you as well, is to experience the same freedom, financial location, and time freedom that me and all of our students and clients have been able to do as well. So let's wrap it there. Thank you again. We'll talk to you soon.